You guys are back in the old school. Hey guys, I'm the Retro Reject, and I'm back with my denim jacket because last video I wasn't wearing it. But today, I was originally going to make another anime-related video, but I'm kind of out of the phase of me actually liking anime, so we're going to actually move on to something far a lot more important than that. Because we're going to be finding out what's in the box. Yeah, this package just showed up today, and I'm actually really surprised how fast it showed up, because this thing came all the way from Japan. And from my past experiences of buying things online from Japan, those things take several months. So I'm really thankful that it showed up today. So thank you to the guy who sent this to me and for me getting it into a matter of days. So thank you, thanks a lot. I don't want to show his name don't want to tell his name because I don't know. But I bought this package off of eBay. It's a Godzilla figure, and the reason why I bought him is because he is going to become a very major part of the Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures I make, as well as probably just some other videos I'm going to be making in the future. But in case if you're wondering, I'm not going to be introducing him right away. I have a couple of Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures that don't really have to involve this guy, so it's going to be a while until he shows up. But honestly, I don't know if I should be giving my thanks to the guy just yet, because obviously I got to figure out how it actually looks. I mean, so far it actually looks nice. I'm a little bit worried because I don't know how exactly tall this Godzilla figure is. I mean, it said that he was supposed to be pretty tall, but I mean, you know, looking at my other Godzilla characters, it seems that this character is definitely going to be pretty large. That is, if he is basically pushed in from top to bottom in this box. So let's actually get started opening up this box. Have a trusty little knife here. Kids, do not use knives. This is incredibly dangerous. Ask your parents to open packages for you. Okay, so I think I'm going to actually switch to a better angle for me to open this. So yeah, I am ready to basically open this package up because I have been waiting all day to do this. Now, I don't know if you guys can see me. I'm trying to stay as close to the box as I can so you guys can see my reaction. Alright, so get the trusty knife and let's actually kind of start cutting into this. Now, of course, in case if you're wondering, I tore off the whole information thing because how the actual mailmen know how to get this package to the right place. So just because I want to keep my real name and address withheld. But funny thing is because the name that appears on the packages is the Retro Reject. So these people send packages to some person named the Retro Reject. So, and this is kind of really annoying because, I mean, I understand it's they're trying to really be protected because this is a very high value item in here. But just having to take off this extra plastic wrapping, I really don't like having this because obviously I'm kind of a nature guy. I don't like people wasting plastic like this. But I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't tell them how to form the packaging. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm guessing that's the reason why they added the plastic, because I'm actually noticing right now that the top part of the figure is kind of opening up. It's kind of showing up at the top right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's kind of just poking out right here. So it's a good thing, actually, they have the plastic wrapping, but oh well. Alright, so now let's actually cut into the tape. Okay. I'm actually a little bit worried about this, figure, because just from what the images I saw online, I mean, I'm having faith that it's what I want it to look like, but I don't know, just like from looking at the pictures, it almost seemed a little too plasticky. But I'm really hoping it's like the vinyl figure, because I had to pay a lot of money for this. I really want to be careful. Okay. It's nice, it's got like a Japanese writing in here. You can tell it's from Japan. It's covered in bubble wrap. Yeah, just as I thought, like I think that this figure has a, like they folded the tail of this figure. Let's actually kind of get this side and dramatic unveiling of who this guy is. Oh, this is, yes! Just exactly what I imagined it. Oh, yeah! Look at that. Amazing. Alright, for those who do not know who this guy is, or even can't even remember who he is, this is Monster X from the Godzilla movie Godzilla Final Wars. And he is the final boss that Godzilla has to fight. Like, and you'd be actually surprised that this is actually a Ghidorah. But just by looking at him, I think you could tell, because this is supposed to be one head, this is the middle head, and that's the other. Because in this form, he's more agile, and then he can transform into Kaiser Ghidorah, which I think in the canon is the most powerful Ghidorah ever. But just looking at Monster X alone, you can tell he is extremely powerful. And I am just 100% satisfied with this figure. And even though it is in used condition, and just by looking at it, there are a few things wrong with it. Like, there are just a few scrapes and smudges here or there. Like, I think there's a couple right here. And I think this part's just supposed to be overall white, but this, I think it's just kind of, it blacked out right here. But dang, he is a very nice piece to have in my collection. Nice skeletal detail, because this is supposed to be almost looking like the like the bones of a Ghidorah. And I think I overall prefer him over Kaiser Ghidorah. And I mean, I did say before, he is going to become a part of the Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures, but I'm not going to spoil what is going to become of him. So yeah. But just the overall design, the nice sleek parts of the black, the bony skeletal structures. There's the heads. Each one has like those bright red eyes. The tail has like a nice kind of texture right here, as well as following the bones, kind of almost sleek in design, bony structure there, and they separate into two right here. And like in the package, I thought I said that the thing was full, like the tail was folded, but it wasn't. This was just how it looks like. Now usually this figure is supposed to be looking like that. Like, that's what I thought. That the fold, like, it was just folded that way. But just looking at it like that, it seems nice. But it's supposed to be like just kind of laid flat, kind of like that. Just to add a few extra lengths to the tail. Now, of course, let's move on to articulation. So, starting at the top, Monster X head can go pretty much 360 degrees, even though it's not really a good reason for you to do it like that. The smaller heads down here have a little bit of articulation, but they can't go full 360 degrees. It's just kind of giving a nice little bit of articulation, just so like the parts can either be folded closer into his body or they can be more folded outward. But a nice little touch right here. The arms, can't go really that far because since this fold right here kind of just hits the back, so it can't go out too far. But it can go pretty much in, like both of them can almost look like he's trying to cover his crotch area. Yeah, but overall really impressive. As the waist can go 360 degrees. And then down to the legs, this area can't spin, but this area can. Can't go too far. It can go 360. Same thing with the other leg. But these legs aren't really supposed to be folded around like that. And then the tail at this edge can go 360 degrees. And then down here, as I was showing, this part can go 360. So yeah, in terms of articulation, there's not a lot, but there's enough to give you some pretty good poses. Now, what I've seen other Godzilla toy reviewers out there when they actually review Godzilla figures, what they do is that they compare the size to other Godzilla figures just to give them a... Because if you were going to do like a stop motion video with this guy in it, you would have to see how it compares to other figures. Now, he's more in like the more special lines because he's a 9-inch figure. So he's probably not going to scale up too well with other figures. So just to show you, how about we bring in my Bandai 1975 Mechagodzilla, or the Mechagodzilla who shows up in my Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures. So just looking at it, if you were going to have like an overall fight between these two, it's not going to really scale up that well because Mechagodzilla would just be around this height when in actuality probably each Godzilla would probably be at this height. If not, maybe just a little bit smaller, but they would most likely be around the same height. So, but in the terms of how I want to do it with the Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures, this height for them, it's great. Now, let's bring in another guy. How about we bring in one of Monster X's siblings, or just like relatives. My Bandai GMK King Ghidorah. But then once again, just looking at it, not really too impressive as scale. But considering that this guy's supposed to become a Kaiser Ghidorah, you would understand that it would be a little bit bigger. But even the Bandai version of Kaiser Ghidorah, I think he's a little bit smaller than Monster X. So in terms of being a Ghidorah, he doesn't scale up that well. But once again, this Ghidorah would probably be around this height, maybe a little bit taller. But yeah, in terms of if you're going to have like a stop motion fight with each character, it's not going to scale up that well between them. So let's bring in the last character, which is not a Bandai figure, but it's a Neca figure. My Neca Godzilla versus Mothra Godzilla. And once again, not really that impressive a scaling. Like now, I don't know, I can't remember the full schematics of how tall each different Godzilla is. But once again, I'm pretty sure Godzilla would roughly be about the same height as Monster X. So, just to show you how far I would have to move it off the ground. So this is at base height, and then moving up, how I would think their height levels would be is kind of right around there. So yeah, a pretty good distance off the ground. So yeah. But overall, this Monster X is really impressive. There's not a lot of articulation, but there is enough to get you by. Some good hand poses, not a lot in the legs, but some good tail articulation. Nice touch with the extra heads having some kind of mobility, and just kind of giving a nice way to give Monster X kind of a side glancing look. Like, now, Monster X is a very rare figure. I got this guy for about $135, or so. So, in comparing to what his other listings are on eBay, they're around like the 150s, like maybe even to the $200. So I was very lucky enough to get this Monster X for what he's worth. Worth now just a few little smudges here and there, the little bit off with this right here. But I am really impressed with this Monster X. I'm 100% satisfied, and I cannot wait until I introduce him into the Titanosaurus Mechagodzilla Adventures. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and will enjoy him when he does show up. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whatever the heck you want to do, and maybe hit that little bell icon to get notified when the old school is back in session. And I've said it before, but when he does show up. But with that being said, the old school is out.